Hi guys, so today I'm going to do a very quick look at volume and pan automation. I'm not going to go mad, I'm not be a simple quick look. I'm not going to go into fader, writing fader automation lines, hand drawing in, all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to do some simple on the wave file amendments and chopping and changing so you can see how basic automation can work and what it can do for you. I use it quite a lot on vocal lines, backing vocals and lead vocals. Just cut the parts into sections, events. Sometimes raise and lower the volume using that, or sometimes I'll put a complete automation lane in, go through the whole track, raising and lowering volumes, fading them up and down, just to get that little bit more here and there. So here's our piece. It's a keyboard audio section which I've got looped. I'm just going to play it so you know what it is. Okay, so simple little keyboard loop. To get our volume and pan automation visible, we need a few things to do to make it to work. First of all, we need our little automation symbol up here, which is this funny little symbol next to the spanner. We click on that and our track changes to this here. Now, and you'll see volume here. Now there is also an option for pan, which we'll look at in a minute, just underneath. This is our volume line here, which is the level of our fader currently at 0 unity. So we want to change this line to affect our volume. Forget, this is a stereo wave file, so this volume line is relative to where our fader is, so it looks a bit odd because it's not in the middle for some reason, but that's where the fader level is. Now, in order for this to stop to work, I'm going to put some little dots along this line, which are called nodes, and they dictate where the volume changes will take place in between the nodes. So I'm going to put one at the end there, so nothing happens after this point. There's the little blue dot. If I double click it, it goes away. There are other ways of deleting, but for this purpose I'm going to just use this. And there's one there, because I just want you to be able to try this on an event of your own and just see how it works for you. So let's say that after bar 3 there and to bar 5 there, I want the volume to be lower of this keyboard part because I want to let something else into the mix. Above and below the line, if I move my cursor around, you'll see there's a little handle with trim pops up on there, which effectively gives us the opportunity now to change the volume level of this section of the song between these two nodes. So if I pull this down now, click and pull it down, this is what happens. So in order for this to work, there are some other things, like at the top here it says read, and also at the bottom of your fader it says read. Now this needs to be active for this to work. If it's auto off, nothing will happen at all. Touch, latch and write are for a different way of putting in the automation data, which is for another day, not for today. So if I play this now, you should notice that the volume drops here. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so that was quite a drop. Obviously I could drop it all the way down to 0. I could have it halfway. I can raise it up a little bit if I want. I can make it a bit louder. So let's just leave that drop down there. Now these nodes, you can put these as many as you want wherever you want. What I would say is you need a reasonable zoom level to be able to see them. You could completely zoom in on this section and get into some real detail. And also where you place the node can be dependent on your level of zoom on the track here. So if we zoom the track in more, your resolution gets greater. So you can get in between the bars. You can really zoom into where you want to get. I've just got it at this resolution so we can see on the screen our section clearer. So if we do a couple of other things, like put another one here, another one here, and then pull this one down, we get this. So now sudden drops like that can be okay in certain instances, but you might want it to be a little bit more subtle than that. So what we can do here, we can delete this and delete this. Oops. And by doing that, you can create shapes which are now effectively a fade. If we pull this one back and pull this one back, we've now got a fade. Okay, so I might want to say, well, actually what I want to do is I want this. See how we can create these weird... So I might want the track. I can pull these around. Once I put these nodes in, I can pull it around all over the place. You can get over complicated with these nodes if you're not careful. And what I find in the middle, these sort of pop up where they give you an option to put one of these. Let's just see what happens if we click on this. Yeah, so if we click on there, we get a bend. So as you go along, these they just pop up now and again on their own, which is, and you can grab it, put your own shape in, which is a bit weird. But so if we play this now, just a fade. Now these are just examples. I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of different ways you could do this. I just highlighted everything then and pressed delete, and it deleted all of the nodes and reset my volume to 0 again. So you can see how you can affect the volume by just putting in. If you put two close together like that, you can now drag this down, and you can move it along while you've got hold of it, and put this shape however you want to just create. Now you can also copy these. So if you want to copy this to another track, you can do. I'm not going to go into that now. It's a little bit. You have to zoom in a little bit. It can be a little bit complicated. But you can copy automation to another track, which can be very very cool. So you get the same effect on all the tracks. Now let's quickly look at pan. So let's change this to pan. And we get a line. Now we're in the middle because we are panned centrally here. So in order to do this, exactly the same thing, we put in a node, and let's say there, 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 and there. Now if we drag this, this happens. Again, so we can perform some pretty weird functions if we want to start messing about with this a lot. You know, I think you get the idea. So again, pan, you can just move it around. You can do the weird curve things in the middle. You can create all sorts of weird shapes that you want. And it'll just follow that as long as you got read on. I didn't do was put one at the end there, which is a pain because it just means I've got to reset it. And hopefully, if we just delete all of that, oh, it's because I had one at the beginning. It hasn't gone back to the beginning, but you've got the gist of it with pan and volume automation. The little symbol next to the spanner is where you want to be. Read needs to be on. You select which one you want. Click on the line for the node to produce a position to grab it. Pull it around to suit your volume up or down or your pan. If you click the automation lane off, it just goes back to your straight WAV file again. And the only reason you probably know you've got something on there is the read button here. And I think, not sure if that symbol means that it's automation's there as well. So there you go, volume and pan automation. That's the simple start. Have a go, see how you get on. Cheers guys.